So any guy that has ever wanted to work with tools has always known you can never have too many outlets. So when I was trying to finish out this wall in my shop, I thought maybe it's possible to have too many, and I may have accomplished that. I now have multiple gang boxes every 4 feet almost down for 50 feet. On top of that, I've got 3 50 amp circuits, which should take care of any tool that I'm going to have in the near future. Backside of the wall is still open, so if I get a wild hair, maybe I'll plumb something else in. But for now, that's plenty. Man, that 6-3 wire right now is really expensive, so I'm trying to limit how far I'm running down and how many runs I have of that. But I'm excited about having that. The next phase of this project to finish up this wall was putting up some kind of wall covering. I thought about corrugated metal, I thought about drywall, and then I got a good deal on this stuff, which is what they call Slatwall. Now, Slatwall is a piece of PVC that's a molded or extruded form or product that works pretty well to hang little pegs on. So then I could take this and I could slide it anywhere I want down the wall, and I can have endless, not quite endless, I'm sure I'll max it out, but I can have a lot of storage. Now this stuff's rated for, once it's completely screwed off, 100 pounds every square foot. Now that's a lot, but it's not enough to start hanging metal. So one of the solutions I had for metal was, I got a lot of 12-foot stuff, or I buy a 24-foot stick and cut it in half just to make it easier to transport. So often I will put it, as you can see up here, stuck up into the rafters, which is a great solution. Been pretty happy with it. An electrician looking up there would go, there's wires up there, and I agree, so it's not a great one. So I planned on building up some cubbies to where, there's no way I could contact anything. It would be protected from fire, all that kind of stuff. And it would give me that extra 2 feet above my 2-foot ceiling. The problem with that, I've also got a lot of 20-foot and 24-foot stuff that isn't cut. And as I was hanging this material, or putting up all this slat wall, I got thinking it would be really nice to have horizontal storage up high, which should work great. But if I'm taking up 24 feet running this way, then that means those cubbies have to be clear down the shop. So I've got to figure that one out. Maybe I do it somewhere closer up in here. That might be an option. If you guys have come up with a solution or solve that problem in a smaller shop, please let me know. It's going to take a chunk of time to design something and weld that up. So if there's a better solution that maybe I haven't thought of or come across, please let me know. But this is fantastic. I've absolutely torn up my shop to create the space on this wall. I've got my lathe sitting here, parts washer, all kinds of shelving, rentals stuff. It's a mess. And so by getting this finished up, then I can work down this wall, and I'm going back and forth. I might be building workbenches, maybe modular workbenches that I could, if I wanted to move something, I would take a 4-foot or a 6-foot section and I could just move it somewhere else in the shop. I like that idea, but I haven't decided yet. So for now, all I've been worried about is getting the electrical done and getting all this slat wall hung so that I can pull all this stuff back to the wall and make a little bit of space. If you are building a shop, do all this before you fill it up with material, and it'll save a lot of space. So for me, I'm not a little guy, not huge, but I'm not a little guy. And so when you're working in tight spots like this, yeah, it would be a lot easier and a lot faster if I had the extra space. So at any time you can do things before you have to use it, do it then. But I've got all these, welding tables and different things. My skid steer went down. I think I may have lost a drive motor, which if I did, they say I've got to change out radiator and a whole bunch of other components, which might be a stupid expensive bill. With that means I don't want to move much of this stuff at all. I used an engine hoist to move the lathe. Fortunately, it's just a little bit, or a smaller lathe. But some of the other stuff, you're like, yeah, it'd be a lot easier with the skid steer and forks. So at this point, man, I don't want to move much very far. But I'm real excited about this project. If you've got any cool projects going on or have any tips for me, let me know. I'm Derek Oxton with Rusted Ox.